Hey guys, what's up, dudes?
It's your boy, Jack Harlow, here with another one of my classic rippity raps for you.
Where my, something like that.
Yeah.
Where my, something like that.
Huh?
Where my, something like that.
No!
Where my,
Stop, make the beat stop.
unstable girlies at.
Okay, guys, enough. Okay, today let's get into it. We're gonna watch some videos. Okay, we're gonna check them out. And this first one.
Now the audio's all messed up, of course. Why would it be on point?
Here's a funny video that's been kind of going around. It's Tucker Carlson. Wait, it's this guy.
You're a moron.
Hey, come on, man.
Hey, it's Tucker Carlson.
Jesus, Tucker.
You often hear people say the news is full of lies. You're a moron. But most of the time, that's not exactly right.
It's not.
Much of what you see on television or read the New York Times is, in fact, true in the literal sense.
That's
it could
on YouTube.
pass one of the media's own fact checks.
Whoa.
Lawyers would be willing to sign off on it. In fact, they may have.
I don't know if it's just because Tucker Carlson kind of looks like a little kid, but this whole video has the vibe to me of a little kid doing a show. Like a kid in the 90s doing a show on a tape recorder. Hi, it's me, Tucker Carlson. Welcome back to my show. Today, Mom's ordering pizza. So anyway, the Ukraine... Tucker, what are you doing in there? I told you I'm doing a show! Tucker, you woke me up. What are you doing in there?
I told you I got fired. I'm doing the show in the garage now.
So the children's show Bluey, which is
Oh, thank God we're covering the important topics here. Okay, go ahead.
biggest YouTube channel. It is the most viewed show
Wow.
on all of YouTube, Bluey.
Okay.
Now, Bluey is apparently in trouble. Why? Well, because it's the center of a row, according to Deadline Hollywood, after ABC and BBC Studios edited an episode to address concerns about fat shaming.
Okay.
It was a season 3 episode. It was titled Exercise, and it featured Bluey's father, Bandit, embarking on a fitness regime after he stands on the bathroom scales and grabs his paunch.
Okay.
Here's what it looked like.
Oh, man.
What?
Bluey.
Why did you say, oh, man?
I just need to do some exercise.
Something
Tell
like
me
that.
about it.
Show seems pretty cute, actually.
Oh, found you.
Dad.
Why don't you just do some exercise?
Same old reason, Bluey. You kids and work.
Okay, so apparently that right there is terrible.
Oh, okay.
That's terrible. No man has ever looked at his weight on the scale and thought, man, I need to do some exercise. And it's bad if you tell men to do exercise if they are paunchy.
Okay.
Very, very bad. And this is insane. Okay, the fact that they had to edit this, they didn't have to. They're just cowards. ABC said, quote, the recent episode of Bluey Exercise has been republished by ABC
Dad.
following a decision by the makers of the program. That is insane.
Slow news week, maybe. Okay.
I'm sorry, that is maybe the least offensive thing I've ever seen on a children's show.
Okay.
Is a dad going to the scale. This is pretty much me every morning with my kids, by the way.
Oh, it is?
It's like, I get on the scale, I'm like, God.
I get on the scale, I'm like, oh, 90 pounds? I gotta drop 40 pounds. I gotta drop 40 pounds.
That's a small joke. That's a joke about how he's small. That's not nice, right?
Where my unstable girlies at.
Haven't these guys been panicking about a kid seeing a drag queen for like a year? You know, they've been doing this.
Sniffing.
They've been doing this.
We need to toughen up. But if a kid sees a guy dressed like a lady, oh no. Woo!
Yeah, I don't know. I thought these guys were all about like parents complaining about everything all the time, but I don't know. If you actually watch some of these kids' cartoons, like I was watching Curious George the other day for research for this show, and shows for kids that are like 3, 4, 5 years old, like nothing can happen on the show and they'll love it. You know, like a Curious George episode is like, oh, Curious George is trying to find an apple. That's it, you know. Kids can't get enough of it.
Fast forward another year to this past week, and we have the next woke assault on a family of fictional cartoon dogs.
Okay.
An episode in season 3 titled Exercise opens
They're all covering this. Thank God. How many views on this? Oh, 500,000 views in one day. Man, thank God.
with Bandit
Who?
stepping on a scale in the bathroom.
Oh.
And then he says, oh man, I need to do some exercise.
Okay.
And that's the scene. It's a scene that, I mean, may seem utterly uncontroversial and unremarkable to you, but that's because you're a normal human being. To the left, however, the scene is problematic. And that's how it was described by this alleged child development expert on TikTok, who has a PhD, by the way. And she wants to explain why we should be very concerned about this scene in Bluey. Listen.
Bluey recently screwed up in a pretty big way, and it's made a lot of
people angry. But basically, there's a brand new episode called
Exercise, where at the start, Bandit, Bluey's dad, grabs his belly, I'll show you a picture here, and kind of just looks at it.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares about this, okay?
Okay.
I mean, these are the same, Matt Walsh and this lady, they're basically the same person. Most parents are not freaking out about things like this. You know, they just want a moment, maybe 30 minutes. You know, if you have a toddler, you know, you want maybe like 30 minutes of something not being thrown at you. This is just like you've become too lost in social media, you know, like there's another video of this guy, Matt Walsh, where he's like calling hockey players like a bunch of bitches or something. That's a wuss. Hockey is a wuss sport. It's like you've lost all touch with reality when you start saying that stuff. The hockey players are wusses thing is funny because I watched a speech that this guy Matt Walsh gave where I think it was the same day that his Twitter account got hacked or something, and he seriously looked like he had been crying all day. So let's put things in a little bit of perspective.
Crowning of King Charles III. So I'm American, so I don't care.
Why are you doing a segment on it then?
The only thing about this that is interesting to me is that historic institutions ought to be preserved in Western society as sort of a general rule. Okay.
Okay, so you do care about it.
It is a historic moment when Britain crowns a new king for the first time in, 80 years?
Yeah, like
I mean, it's been a long time, 70 years?
I actually don't care. Yeah.
Here's a little bit of the video of King Charles III being crowned as the 62nd British monarch.
Amazing. Let's see.
Uber cars.
God
Uber
save
cars.
the king.
Buckets of cum. Uber cars. Uber cars.
That's in the Bible. Now Charles is formally
Okay, and he
King Charles III.
Candy Owens, another one of these Daily Wire people. Candy Owens, she's really into the royal family too. Here we go. Check this out. Check this, bros.
All right, guys, happy Tuesday. Coming to you from London still. As you guys know, I have been here attending the coronation, and it was magical. It was everything that I hoped it had been. And some of you guys are not happy about my love for the royal family, my apparent love for the royal family.
Yeah.
I got a lot of feedback.
Yeah, it's weird. I would say it's weird. It's probably weird for people who live in the UK to be really into it. I would say it's doubly weird for some random American to be really into it, you know?
But it felt unattainable in a way that was inspiring. It was something to look up to.
Right.
Obviously, I have said.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll be randomly born into a family that just owns a bunch of land and all this crap for no reason. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Where my unstable girlies at?
Okay, back to Ben Shapiro. Here we go.
So Richard Dreyfuss, who I really enjoy as a performer.
Who?
He was asked about the new rules from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, which is that you have to have basically diversity requirements for the Oscars. And Richard Dreyfuss, that dude does not, he does not play. There's Richard Dreyfuss.
Okay.
Starting in 2024, films will be required to meet new inclusion standards.
Okay.
To be eligible for the Academy Awards for Best Picture. They'll have to have a certain percentage of actors or crew from underrepresented.
Let me just lean in a little bit, hear what you're saying. I got my glasses low down to hear what you're saying better. Quite frankly, I want to have a close encounter with you of the third kind.
What's the third kind?
Kissing.
Okay, that's enough.
Represented racial and ethnic groups. What do you think of these new inclusion standards for films?
Great question.
They make me vomit.
Whoa,
Why?
Richard.
Because this is an art form. It's also a form of commerce, and it makes money.
Right.
But it's an art. And no one should be telling me as an artist that I have to give in to the latest, most current idea
Get those glasses off.
of what morality is.
These things are going to slip down.
And what are we risking? Are we really risking hurting people's feelings?
Let's see this Dreyfuss reaction again. Here we go.
What do you think of these new inclusion standards for films?
They make me vomit.
Why?
They make you vomit. Jeez.
I've got my little glasses down low to show you that I am very serious as an actor. Hello. They make me vomit out of my butthole.
Jesus, Richard, what is that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had a few drinks. I had a lot of drinks.
Good Lord, Richard, how many drinks?
Like 20 drinks.
Okay, yes to Richard Dreyfuss here.
Calm
First
down.
of all, okay, yeah, you know Richard Dreyfuss, he's like, you know what? F it, man. I'm just going to say what I think. And you know how you can tell? Because where he's wearing his glasses.
Oh, great.
That move where you wear your glasses like 1 inch from the end of your nose.
Yeah, he's 100 years old.
That's the move where I just don't care anymore. I'm just going to let this thing fly. So good for Richard Dreyfuss.
Why do you care about this? This is literally, you might be the only one who cares about this. This week in the Daily Wire really is like,
let's find the stupidest things we can focus on, the most meaningless things we can focus on, and really get really get this going. Really get that and this.
Okay, here we go. Here's this guy covering an actual story now. Yet another shooting, this time in the state where I live, Texas. Let's check let's check his great insight into this. Here we go.
But there's a person who is not white. This is a person with a Hispanic background.
Okay.
And he is immediately being labeled by the entire media in terms of white supremacist ideology. Now, it's possible this guy's mentally unbalanced and therefore a white supremacist. It's possible he's delusional in terms of his own race and therefore he believes that he's a white supremacist, or maybe he is just a white supremacist, right? All of those things are on the table. What is the evidence that he actually was a white supremacist? Well, according to the Associated Press, the shooter had a patch on his chest when he was killed by police that read RWDS, which is an acronym for the phrase Right-Wing Death Squad, which is popular among right-wing extremists and white supremacy groups, according to that official.
Right.
In addition to reviewing social media posts, federal agents have also interviewed family members and associates of the shooter to ask about his ideological beliefs. According to that official, investigators are also reviewing financial records, other online posts they believe that the shooter made, and other electronic media, according to the official. The Allen police chief actually declined Sunday evening to answer questions, saying,
"Take a breath, bro. Jeez.
We don't actually have a lot at this point." And again, this is leading to a lot of speculation about whether we are being told the truth, because again, this is a person with a very, very Hispanic name and whose parents are obviously Hispanic. They required an English translator in order to answer questions.
I like in Ben's mind there are levels of Hispanic last names.
Some of them are just kind of Hispanic. This one is very, very Hispanic.
We are constantly being given partial information by a media that refuses to trust us with actual facts when it comes to crime.
Okay.
Instead, we're just told what we are supposed to believe. And if we doubt that narrative, then it must be because we are complicit with the ideology that is evil in the mass.
Feeling
Stick
guilty.
around, because
this is sort of a sus segment by my mans here. This terrible shooting happens, and the Texas Department of Public Safety, this is from the New York Times, said that the gunman had Nazi-related tattoos and that even his signature indicated that he had neo-Nazi ideation. Okay, so I think we can guess how he was dotting those I's. And also the authorities, it's not speculation, the authority, the police in Texas and the Department of Public Safety was like, he also had a patch. He had some kind of like neo-Nazi patch. But for some reason, Ben Shapiro is like,
let's not be too hasty with this. Even though we have an overwhelming amount of evidence that he was some kind of a neo-Nazi, we don't all do that kind of stuff. I mean, what did I say? They don't do that kind of stuff. My audience doesn't do that kind of stuff. I mean, those bad guys don't do that. Oh, boy.
Okay, here we go. Comedy time.
Well, folks, it's that time of year when we look at the idiotic outfits of the Met Gala and we determine who they look like, who they're wearing, what in the world they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Met Gala is a repository of all human stupidity and fashion faux pas that we pretend are actually amazing loots. We're going to go through all of those in just one moment. This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN.
Oh, yeah. Squeeze an ad in real quick. Great.
Sniffing.
Okay, here we go. So this is...
Alton Mason.
Alton Mason.
Okay.
Who?
Alton Mason. He's an American male model.
He is an American male model.
Oh!
What in the world? It's like this person watched The Nightmare Before Christmas and took like the dead bride look, but then ripped away the skirt, ripped away half the shirt, and wore it as a dude.
Oh,
so transgressive, so brave.
Got their ass.
So bullshit.
Whoa.
He was the first black male model to have walked for Chanel.
Well, I mean, I guess we can confirm that he is black. I cannot confirm that he is male.
The no nipples plus the diaper is quite the look.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm looking at here. This is like, what in the actual F is this nonsense?
My brain's starting to bleed.
All right, moving on to Young Miami.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, and maybe a lot of you out there watching this, the Met Gala, kind of cringe, kind of cringy. But Ben Shapiro and all these guys, their whole thing is like, oh, the meritocracy. We're for meritocracy. We should celebrate the people who, become the most rich and the most famous. Here's the Met Gala, which is exactly that. It's like really nothing more than that. Oh, hey, the most rich and famous people, we're just celebrating them. We're just lavishing them with our praise and the most expensive clothes and all this. But for some reason he's pissed off about it. Okay, well maybe you need to figure out what the f*** you're talking about and what you believe, you idiot you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Who is this, or what is this? What is happening here?
This is Erykah Badu. I think she's a singer.
Who is apparently like the demon from The Conjuring.
Also, amazing.
Apparently turned into a Havanese dog in the middle of the shoot.
Nailed her.
Like they really let the hair grow out. I only know about that because I do have a Havanese, and you got to keep the hair clipped kind of close so they look cute. Otherwise, they start to look like just a walking rug. I'm also seeing something out of the show Vikings. You know, the creepy, weird guy who like, and then he tells like prophecy. That's what I'm getting from this.
And those Harry Potter, what are they called?
Oh, the Dementors.
The Dementors.
Yeah, Dementor's a good call. Read another fucking book. There are a lot of references here. None of them good.
God, this is funny. Oh. Why not hire some joke writers, you stingy bastard, you know? There's got to be some comedy club out there in whatever part of Florida he lives in, where the average age is like 120 or whatever. Okay, here's another stupid segment. Here we go.
Yeoman Second Class Joshua Kelly, whose stage name is Harpy Daniels, made an announcement about becoming one of the first Navy digital ambassadors. Here is what this pathetic nonsense looked like.
Okay, calm down. Okay, so it's a drag queen.
It's a dude, and he waves a flag, and suddenly he's dressing in drag. This Navy sailor is also a drag queen. And there is a man dressed as a woman and blowing kisses to the camera in heavy makeup and a wig.
Something like
24-year-old Joshua Kelly. Do you feel the morale of the U.S. military boosting? Kelly hopes to inspire people all over the world. Yes, that is what the Navy is for.
Oh,
that is what our ships are for. They are not for making sure that the seaways are clear for shipping. They are not to make sure that the Chinese Navy does not take over the South China Sea.
I would know. I watched a movie about it.
This seems like a little bit of a self-defeating segment here. These guys are like drag queens. They're out of control. They're the biggest threat. Where we're so concerned about these drag queens. Here's one doing the thing that we all valorize, that we all think is so amazing, which is being a member of the military. Seems like a little bit of a self-defeating segment.
Individualism is the core of the Army. Individualism? What in the action? What? Say what? And then recruitment is down. Yes, of course recruitment is down because you can't pitch people opposite of what the pitch is. You can't tell people join the Navy to find your inner drag queen. And then
yeah, that's why recruitment's down. All the drag queens.
My guest is, in fact, Genevieve Gluck, a women's rights campaigner, founder of Redux.
Never heard of it.
It is an unapologetically pro-woman
Never heard of it or her. Okay.
Focused on gender identity.
Okay.
And Genevieve can shed some light on this phenomenon that, frankly, as I've said on the show, I don't even want to look into because I have been told, and then I've read on different fora that talk about this phenomenon, that there is a kind of pornography that is apparently a driver of the transgender identity that is so perverse that it constitutes a kind of hypnosis where men will say, I was a normal guy, I lived to be 41, 42, and I was basically normal, but then I fell into this kind of pornography, and it essentially melted my brain. I had a nervous breakdown. Now I think that I'm a woman. So rather than have to expose myself to that, and then, I'll have to go to confession, potentially my brain gets melted, I can just talk to Genevieve about it. Genevieve, thank you for coming on the show. Among all of the types of pornography that lead to transgenderism, what is this hypnosis pornography?
Well, you touched on a good point there. There are many types of pornography that are sort of involved with the transgender movement.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's get a location check here. What is this? What are you in a sauna? Yeah, I'm reporting live here from the 24-hour fitness sauna.
But hypnosis pornography is a little bit different in that it incorporates your lifestyle. So typically when we think of pornography, we think of it as something that is passive, that you're sort of watching. But this type, it asks you to sort of change your behavior, change the way you dress, even to start taking hormones. And it's sometimes called sissy hypno. So that's short for sissification, hypnosis, pornography.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. So they think that there's a type of porn that can literally hypnotize you. It's not just the name of a certain type of fantasy porn that people who are attracted to transgender people watch. No, it actually hypnotizes you. It's like The Ring. It's like The Ring, but instead of just you watch the video and then 5 days later you die or whatever the hell that movie was. You watch the video and then 5 days later you go like this. And then you go like this. And then you go like this. And then you say to yourself, "That's in the Bible."
So what you're saying, that's a very interesting point.
Spit it out.
When you're having sex with somebody, not to be too crass, but I guess that's what we're talking about here. You're with another human being, and you're both there in the flesh, in the room, on the bed, hopefully with your wife, and for the purpose of procreation. But
She's not
you're there.
interested.
It's the real.
She's not interested, Mike. Stop it.
Person that you have a real relationship with.
She's married.
With pornography, it's just phantom images flickering on a screen.
Okay, let's check back in with this.
Perverts.
Here we go.
Unhoused, right? The memo has gone out.
Okay.
Unhoused is the new Latinx. It's the hot new PC lingo on the market.
Okay.
And you want to get in on the action before it changes again, because yesterday the word was homeless.
Okay.
Today it's unhoused. Tomorrow it might be, dehoused.
Something
then it will
like
be
that.
person of an unhoused persuasion. Then eventually habitation challenged.
Oh,
and they'll
got
realize
him.
that all this sounds far too negative still.
Got 'em.
And they'll want a term that sends the message that homeless people aren't really homeless at all. It's just that they don't have one single home in a fixed
Right.
location.
Right.
Right? Their home is everywhere. It changes. And they'll start using terms like house fluid and dwelling expensive.
Okay, calm down.
That's where this leads.
Calm down.
But for now, unhoused.
Okay, maybe this is one where we can find a little agreement with these lunatics, I looked into this a little bit, what's really the difference between homeless and unhoused? What's the real on-the-ground effect of saying unhoused instead of homeless? I couldn't really, it didn't really resonate too much with me, but I do have an idea for a rebranding of houseless. What is it? Homeless, houseless people. I do have an idea for a rebranding. Okay, that these guys will not like, because everything that would solve homelessness, these guys are against. In Finland, they've pretty much figured it out. Homelessness keeps going down in Finland. So I think we should call homeless people Helsinkis. Oh, I gave some money to that Helsinki. Why? That might be a little bit more meaningful of a rebranding if we're really going to do that, because then every time you're referring to a houseless, homeless person, whatever, you're saying the name of a place that has done policies that could help it, Is that a stupid idea? Sure. Is it? Have I lost my mind? Who's to say? But if you're going to rebrand it, why not go all the way with it? Referencing the actual solution all the time. That's what we're not doing. Helsinki. That's what we're not doing. Well, anyway, guys, that's about as much as I can take of these kooks. They make me go like this. And then after I watch, I have to call my dad. And I gotta go.
Okay.
It's Wednesday. Not the best.
Not the worst, many say. So we disagree with it, but we still do it. Love you guys so much. Bye-bye.
Oh, hey, guys.
Guess what? You're not even getting the whole show. If you want every episode and a whole bunch of other
subscribe on Patreon.
Subscribe on Patreon for as little as 2 bones. Just click the stupid little link below the video in the comments.
See, right there.
There you go. Click it, and that, yep. When you become a patron for as little as 2 bones, you get the Tuesday, Thursday, patron-only episodes. You also get the weekly Book-a-Blega show where we talk about important books. The questions and comments thing where you can ask questions and make comments and all this crap.
All for less than the price of a rancid Charleston Chew.
And for only 25 putrid little dollars,
you could become a producer.
That's right, support the show and get your name up here. Look at these people. Look at these people that make the show possible, okay? God. I mean, without these beautiful people, this show goes straight into the dumpster. A rotten, just wet, disgusting dumpster, behind a restaurant. So there's old milk in there. That's where this show ends up without these people. Is that what you want? Okay, I guess it's what you want. I'll just leave. Nope, it's done. It's too late. Okay? Here we go. Here's the dump truck. Here's the dump truck come to pick up the show. This is what would happen with no producers. Thank you.